Elza Soares is killing it, man. She is killing it. She is at the peak of her career somehow, and yet she's like in her 80s. It's crazy. You might remember last year me reviewing her album, which was really, really good. Made my year-end list. I think it's still a great album. The album before that came out in 2015, I think it was probably even better. And yet this new one I did not see coming. Somehow she's dropped another album, and we're at a point where she's still putting out so much music, and it's insane to see someone at that age be able to do something like this, because it's not like she keeps dropping the same album. No, this album is actually very different to the album that she dropped last year. It still has the very same Elza isms. Of course, in the vocals, she's still really like fired up and energetic, just like she's always been. But musically, actually, some of these tracks take quite interesting detours, because generally she is, a Samba artist, MPB, Vanguardia, Polista. But I think summing her up as those genres is a bit unfair, because honestly, she takes things in an artsier direction. She's definitely hitting out with some really rockier, heavier tracks on this one. The track Blah 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 has a great meaty guitar line to it that honestly reminds me of some of the early Muse. I'm talking like 2000s Muse and late 90s Muse, not recent Muse, of course, because they kind of dipped into some unknown territories with their sound. But like that guitar riff that comes through, and the bass as well, it really just gets me, reminding me of that era in a very good way. A track like Time Is Running Out, something like that from Muse, that's what I'm thinking. And Elza comes through, of course, with her commanding vocal presence. She just steals the stage wherever she is. The track Brasis or Brasis is another track as well that's just such a great rock tune with that guitar riff. Again, just getting completely stuck in my head with the Pay Du Son Ho is a track that's got a bit more of a dance element to it, probably more in tune with her Samba rock days, this track, which is pretty straightforward, but she does kill it with her performance as well. And I have already mentioned how she's well in her 80s at this point, but that generally doesn't hold her back. But I do think, like the opening track, there's a bit of a roughness to her voice that is quite noticeable, and I think there are a few moments on the album as well throughout where vocals just aren't quite reaching it, but I do want to give her the benefit of the doubt, considering she's been doing this for so many bloody years. I just personally feel like it does hold back some of the tracks. Some of the tracks really could use with like a belting vocal performance that would take the song completely home, craft a really strong chorus or a strong hook, and you'd be complete. But I just think this time around it is just slightly noticeable, and it is holding some songs back, which is why I would say it's not as good as her past two albums, to be honest. I mean, there are a couple of slower tracks on here that I don't really feel like have that same impact as I think they're supposed to be going for. But at least she manages to end off the album really strong. That's a great closing track, I think. In fact, these types of rock tunes are really her strong suit at this point, because she's really hamming away with her vocals, and it completely matches the intensity of the instrumentals. Whereas a track like Tradithiao is noticeable because it's slowed down, it's not as hard hitting, and I think her vocals just feel like they're falling quite flat to me. But yeah, I think this is a good album overall. I mean, usually I'm floored by Elza's performances, and I am on so many tracks on this one, but there are a handful that don't really impress me anywhere near as much as what's been on her past few albums. That isn't me saying it's not good, it is good. I'm just thinking it's more of like a 6.5 out of 10 good, rather than something that could be greater. Definitely recommend this though. Just go through her discography and you'll know what I mean. She's a fantastic performer, needs way more credit on an international level rather than just getting the credit she's deserving in Brazil. But I feel like she's making the rounds. She's getting there. Just very late in the day, which is rather rare, but it's cool to see anyway. Thank you for watching my review. Do have a good day. Subscribe. Goodbye. Bye.